My beloved child. This is the moment when the veil between heaven and earth grows so thin that the light of eternity can touch your heart. Every noise that once sought to distract you, every burden that once weighed your soul down is now dissolving like mist melting before the morning Sunday. A gentle yet unwavering voice is calling your name. It does not belong to this world, but comes from the sacred place where God wrote your story from the beginning of time. God says, I have engraved your name on the palms of my hands. No one can erase what I have written. The steps you are about to take may seem random, yet each one is part of a divine design. You are not entering foreign ground, you are returning to the very path your soul chose long before you were born. Every person you will meet, every door that will open, every small event that may appear insignificant is a piece of the sacred mosaic that heaven has been arranging for ages. Do not be afraid when you cannot understand it all, for you need only to walk step by step in faith, and you will see the path unfold with light beneath your feet, just as Psalm 119:105 says, Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Archangel Michael says this is the hour when the prayers of generations are converging upon you. Some of those prayers were spoken by your ancestors, those who went before you, who wept, believed, sacrificed, and entrusted their hope into God's hands. They prayed on your behalf before you even knew how to pray. They stood in the shadows so that you could walk in the light, and now the blessings they once pleaded for are beginning to fall upon your life like the first rain of a new season. It is no coincidence that you sense movement within your spirit that is the sound of heaven's answer, releasing promises long prepared. The good news that approaches you will not be mere comfort but a living testimony that God remembers every whispered prayer uttered in the dark. You may have thought He was silent, yet in truth, He was weaving everything together in that silence, so that today the tapestry of grace might be revealed in full. Every loss you have endured, every tear you thought was wasted has become a seed planted in the soil of promise, and now those seeds are beginning to bloom. You are stepping into the harvest of prayers sown not only by your own soul but by the souls who came before you. God says, My child, not a single tear of yours has been forgotten, not a single breath of prayer has vanished into nothingness. Time does not dull my promises, it ripens them. What you are about to receive is not a reward for effort but the fruit of faithfulness. Even when you cannot see my hand at work, I am still arranging all things. Just as the sun rises each morning, though hidden behind the mountains, so does my light advance toward you quietly yet unfailingly. So open your heart, my child, like a field ready to receive the dew. Do not strive to comprehend every detail of heaven's plan, for my glory surpasses all human thought. The one thing I desire is your complete trust, the kind of faith that dares to move forward even before the way is visible. Let your heart become my resting place, that my grace may flow through you and spread to others. For when you receive blessing, you are also called to become a blessing to those around you. This moment is not merely a new beginning. It is the continuation of an ancient covenant between heaven and your lineage. Allow yourself to be wrapped in that peace, not the fragile peace of man but the holy mantle of God resting upon your shoulders. It will keep you warm through cold days and shelter you amid storms. Then you will know nothing is random. Everything unfolding is a sign of a greater design, one written in light, in faith, and in the boundless love of the one who calls you by your very name. And now, my beloved child, this is the moment for you to rise, to open your arms wide and to receive what heaven has long prepared for you. Do not look back with regret nor fear what has yet to come. For the Lord your God goes before you, preparing the way and walking with you in every breath. Today is not merely a new day, it is the fulfillment of prayers once written in tears, now answered in light. They now stand in a realm where no storm can reach, a place where the light of heaven gently embraces every soul that has completed its earthly journey. From there they intercede, asking God to calm every violent wind that blows around you, for they know that sometimes the tempests are not meant to destroy but to purify. They sweep away the dust that has long covered your soul, revealing the new life that God planted in you from the dawn of creation. The Lord declares, I do not leave you alone in the wind, I am within the very wind itself. Those who have gone before you, souls who now rest in the brilliance of light, stand in perfect peace. They see you not with the eyes of flesh but through the vision of the Spirit. They no longer speak with words, yet their prayers continue to echo in the sacred expanse, blending into heaven's great symphony that rises to the throne of the Most High. They are interceding for you, covering you with an invisible mantle of protection, for they know you are still in the midst of battle, walking through nights of roaring wind and days veiled in clouds. But you will stand firm just as they once stood firm. The Archangel Michael proclaims, the storms are not your enemies but the tests of your faith. For no one is ever forged in ease, the warriors of God are refined in smoke and tempest. Therefore do not fear when thunder roars around you, it is heaven's way of reminding you that the divine hand is still at work. When you keep your peace amidst the raging waves, you become a living testimony of God's power. They pray that God will calm the storms surrounding you, not only the storms of life but the storms within your heart. For often the fiercest winds do not rage across the sea but within the soul. They shake your faith, unsettle what once felt certain, and leave you wondering what is true and what is illusion. Yet, remember this: heaven never loses direction. When you place your trust in God, even the storm becomes the very road that leads you to safety. God says, I will make you stand firm in the storm, not by might but through the stillness of your soul. That stillness is the weapon of those who belong to the light. The world teaches you to fight in order to win, but heaven teaches you to be still in order to overcome. For in that silence you will hear the heartbeat of eternity, soft yet stronger than thunder. Those above are watching you, not with sorrow or interference, but with prayers that you might discover the strength within yourself. They know that when your soul endures and triumphs, their light shines brighter too. The thread that binds the living and the glorified can never be broken, it merely transforms into the energy of prayer and faith. They have passed this inheritance to you, not of gold or fame but of endurance and unwavering belief. There will be days when you feel forgotten in the shadows, yet in truth, heaven and earth fall silent, so that you may learn to hear the voice of God. It is within that silence that miracles are woven. And when the storm passes, you will see not only has the world around you changed, but you yourself have been reborn. You will know how to stand in the wind without trembling, how to smile through the rain, because your soul has learned the rhythm of heaven. They pray for God to calm the storm around you, but if the storm does not cease, He will make you strong enough to walk through it. And that is the true miracle, not that the world changes, but that you are transformed. Like the ocean which remains deep whether the storm rages or rests, your soul will keep the depth of peace that God has planted within you. My child, remember this: every storm carries a message. It reminds you that you are being prepared for something greater, brighter, and more glorious. Do not see hard days as punishment but as lessons of grace. For only those who have walked through rain and wind can understand the worth of sunlight. When you stand in peace today, it is not merely calm after chaos, it is the triumph of faith, the reward heaven has promised to those who never let go. And from above the souls at rest are smiling upon you. They no longer cry or ache but shine with radiant light. That light reaches down, touches you, and marks your forehead with the seal of divine protection. Whenever you grow weary, lift your eyes not to seek answers but to remember that you are never alone. For your God does not sleep, and those who love you in heaven still intercede for you each day. They whisper with the winds, sing with the rivers, and send blessings with every dawn. In every breath you take, their prayers move with you, strengthening you, lifting you forward. When the storm has passed and the breath of peace begins to weave through every corner of your soul, a quiet miracle unfolds. From above, doors of light open and angels are sent forth. They do not come with thunder or lightning but in stillness, like the morning breeze stirring the leaves, like the dew resting upon the grass. You will not see them with your eyes, but your spirit will feel them. Each time your heart suddenly grows calm, each time you find strength in fear, it is because their wings are covering you. God says, I will send my angels before you and they will lead you to the place I have promised. These angels do more than guard you from harm, they teach you how to walk in light. They place within you thoughts of peace, holy desires, and gentle, precise promptings. Do not dismiss those inner stirrings, my child, for they are the language of heaven. Sometimes they appear as a fleeting thought, a stranger's word, a verse you read by chance, all signs that God is directing your path. Nothing is random in His universe. Archangel Michael says you no longer walk in fear, for the host of light surrounds you. Every angel is a torch lighting your path. They go before you to level the rough places, behind you to protect, and beside you to keep you from falling. When you are weak, they rest their hands upon your shoulders, imparting strength from the heights of heaven. When you lose your way, they shine their light ahead so you may return to the path ordained for you. You may not hear their voices, but you will sense their gentle presence, like a whisper in the wind, like the familiar rhythm of your heartbeat joined with the pulse of heaven. Now, let your heart grow quiet enough to hear. For only in stillness will you perceive the signs you once overlooked. Perhaps an angel will open a door, or cause you to meet someone whose soul instantly feels like a sign. Do not rush to doubt or overanalyze, for grace does not need explanation, it only needs belief. God says, I am rearranging your life, every smallest detail, so that all things align with my heavenly design. At times, He will move people, work, or even circumstances that seem random, but truly it is His hand adjusting every note in the symphony of your destiny. What departs no longer belongs to you, and what arrives is the portion of blessing promised long ago. The angels have only one task: to ensure that you walk in the direction of that promise. When you move forward, you will see the world differently, not because it has changed but because you have. Your eyes will begin to perceive the hidden layers of meaning behind every event. A brief encounter, a word of encouragement, or even a delay that seems meaningless, all are gentle reminders from heaven that you are walking under divine protection. There is no such thing as coincidence, only divine orchestration. My child, if ever you feel alone, remember this: no one walks alone when walking in the light. Your angels are still there waiting for your call. They do not intervene while your heart is anxious, but they act mightily the moment you choose to trust. For faith is the signal that moves heaven. When you say, "Lord, I believe," the heavens tremble. And in that very instant the angels begin to move, joining hands to form a radiant wall of light around you. Then step by step you will witness subtle yet wondrous changes. Where storms once raged, gentle breezes now blow. Where there were shouts, songs now rise. Where pain once dwelled, flowers of peace begin to bloom. These are the signs that heaven's hand is at work. You don't need to understand everything, just breathe, believe, and walk. Heaven does not require perfection from you, only faithfulness. And it is that faithfulness which invites the angels to act. When you dedicate your day to the Lord, everything in that day becomes sacred. When you take your first step in faith, the ground beneath your feet becomes firm. When you choose forgiveness over resentment, you open a door for light to enter. Therefore, my child, step out from the winds, not because you fear the storm, but because you have learned the lesson it carried. Now you no longer need to struggle, you only need to follow the light. The angels are leading you to a peaceful land where serenity is no longer fleeting, where your soul can rest in the arms of the one who created you. Beloved child, God says you are stepping into a new season, the season in which every silent prayer you once lifted up will begin to bear fruit. This is not merely a change of circumstances, but a transformation of the soul. The things you once prayed for, the tears you once shed in the night, the hopes you thought forgotten, are now rising like living sprouts from the soil soaked in your tears. Heaven has recorded every faint whisper of your heart, and those prayers have not vanished. They have been sown into the womb of time, preserved in the treasury of light, awaiting their appointed moment to unfold. And now that moment has come. Archangel Michael says heaven has spoken of you more than you can imagine. Your name has been mentioned in holy assemblies. In the highest realms where light intertwines with power, words have been spoken to command transformation in your life. Doors you thought forever locked are beginning to tremble as if responding to a call from above. There are blessings bearing your name, none can take them, none can replace them, kept covered and prepared through every waiting season. While you feared that God had forgotten, He was orchestrating every detail so that when you finally receive it will be perfect, neither early nor late, but right on time according to His good and loving purpose. My child, there are conversations in heaven that you know nothing about. While you wept in silence, the angels gathered those tears and carried them before the throne of God. While you quietly held on to faith amid confusion, that faith was recorded as testimony. And now the entire realm of heaven is moving, turning the pages to a new chapter in your life. You are no longer standing outside the promise. You are stepping into the very light that He has prepared for you since the foundation of the world. When you awaken in the morning, rise with a deep certainty that something has shifted. Your eyes may not yet see it, but your spirit will know. For the movement of heaven does not always come through sound or sight, but sometimes through a gentle stirring of the heart, like a new breath, like the first beam of light seeping through the dawn. You will feel a peace without reason, a hope that does not come from man, that is the sign that heaven has touched your reality. God says, I have gone before you. Every step you are about to take He has already walked. Every turn that lies ahead He has already cleared. When you think you are choosing your way, you are in truth walking the path He has designed. Even the delays, the detours that seem random, all are written into the map of grace. Therefore, walk into the new day not with fear but with awareness that He is already there in every breath, every decision, every encounter. Remember, my child, you are not alone. The prayers of your lineage cover you like a cloak of light. Those who came before, parents, grandparents, ancestors in faith, once pleaded with God that their descendants would dwell in blessing. You are the fulfillment of those prayers. They stood in the storm so you could walk in peace. They sowed in tears so you could reap with joy. Whenever you feel weak, remember that an entire heritage of faith is lifting you up. The angels too have gone before you. They not only protect but prepare the atmosphere for blessing. They soften hearts you are about to meet, open doors you did not know existed, and construct opportunities that only heaven could arrange. Nothing you are about to face is by chance. Everything is part of God's symphony, and every note, whether low or high, is essential to compose the perfect song of your life. When you stand before decisions, do not be afraid. Even when you do not know which direction to choose, He is still guiding you. Sometimes He leads not by maps but by silence. He does not shout, He whispers. And the one who hears that whisper is not the swiftest but the stillest. Learn to pause amid the noise to hear the wind carry the breath of God, saying, do not fear, I am here. My child, this is not merely the beginning of a new season. It is heaven's confirmation that your appointed time has opened. Walk in trust, for you are no longer moving in shadows but in light that is divinely guided. All good things are beginning to stir. Promises once delayed are awakening. And when you open your eyes at dawn, believe this: heaven has gone before you, angels surround you, and the love of God will never leave you, not even for a single moment. Now, my child, heaven is sending signs into each day of your life, small fragments of affirmation, gentle whispers from above, reminding you that you are never forgotten. Every beam of morning light, every soft breath in the wind, every unexpected encounter or word from another is a message from heaven sent to reassure your soul, I am still here. God says, when you can no longer hear me with your ears, learn to see me with the eyes of faith. There are subtle signs so small they might seem ordinary, yet within them lies the language of heaven. A bird resting by your window when you are weary, a verse appearing just when you need it most, or a sudden sense of peace amid confusion, all are ways God whispers that He is walking beside you. Angels are not always sent in shining armor and radiant light. Sometimes they dwell in the kind eyes of a stranger or in a simple word of encouragement you never expected. Archangel Michael says heaven is never silent. You must learn to listen with your soul. You have prayed for signs and now they are arriving. Yet to perceive them you must awaken. Awakening is not merely opening your eyes, it is opening your heart. It is the awareness that everything unfolding around you carries a deeper meaning, that the visible world is only a veil hiding the unseen movements of the divine. When you slow down, listen, and observe through the lens of your spirit, you will sense the entire universe breathing in rhythm with grace. My child, those who have loved you and now dwell in the light of heaven still watch over you. They have not departed, they have simply changed the form of their presence. In every gentle breeze, in every golden sunset, their intercessions rise to God, pleading for your protection. They do not want you to miss the sacred moments heaven has arranged for you. For what may seem like chance is often a divine intersection where your path and God's purpose meet. God says, I have surrounded you with my messages. Whoever seeks will find, and whoever listens will recognize. Therefore live with open eyes and a sensitive heart. When you look at the world through the light of faith, everything transforms. You will see that in every trial there is a lesson, in every delay there is protection, and in every tear there runs a river of preparation. Nothing is accidental when God's hand guides the rhythm of your life. At times, you may wonder, how can I know if this is truly a sign from heaven and not merely my imagination? The answer is simple: when it brings peace, it is from Him. For the voice of God never brings confusion. He comes like a gentle breeze, carrying stillness deep into the soul. Trust the serenity that rises within you, for it is the very touch of the Holy Spirit upon your being. My child, do not let the noise of the world dull your sensitivity to heaven's signals. When you rush through life, your spirit loses its perception. But when you pause, grow still, and give thanks, you will hear the soft knocking of grace. Opportunities, people, and small changes will begin to align, as if the entire cosmos quietly conspired to lead you toward what God has promised. Archangel Michael says no sign is too small in the kingdom of God. Everything he sends has purpose to guide you back to the path of light. Even when you think you are lost, you are actually being drawn closer to what is right, for grace never misses its mark. It will always find you no matter how far you wander. Therefore, my beloved, stay awake. Walk each day knowing that heaven is watching, leading, and speaking through the simplest things. Give thanks even before you understand, for gratitude opens the eyes of the Spirit. Keep your heart tender, for a hardened heart cannot hear the whisper of God's wind. And when you recognize a sign, pause, bow your head, smile, and say, Lord, I know you are here. This is what heaven longs for you to remember: you have never walked alone. Those who love you still gaze down from above. The angels still walk beside you. And God, the one who hears every sigh and understands what you cannot express, continues to paint the softest lines of light across your life. As it is written in Psalm 1:2-1:8, the Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. Live in that awareness, my child. For every breath you take is a new page heaven is writing in light, and in every invisible word He reminds you, you are loved, chosen, and guided. My beloved child, God says, the signs I send are not merely to comfort you, but to draw you into my current, where nothing unfolds by human effort but by the rhythm of divine intention. You are being called to enter a state of oneness with the will of heaven, where you no longer have to chase after things but simply walk in harmony with the appointed rhythm. When you learn to live in that alignment, everything begins to fit together: dreams, promises, encounters, opportunities, all moving in perfect synchronization with the heartbeat of the one who created you. This sacred flow has always been present, but only those who know how to pause can sense it. The world tells you to run faster, strive harder, and seize more. Yet heaven teaches you to drift with grace. When you allow yourself to be carried by that stream, you will realize that there is no need to resist, only to trust. Everything God has designed will arrive, not early, not late, but precisely in the moment He has chosen. Archangel Michael says, "The waters of God do not rush like the rivers of the world. They move gently and steadily, like the river of grace. Whoever steps into it will thirst no more." My child, to enter that divine current you must first let go. Release the calculations of your mind, the self-made plans, and the fears rooted deep within your heart. You once thought control was safety, but in truth it is when you release your grip that you are most securely held. Grace is never born from grasping but from surrender. God says, "Give me everything you fear to lose, and I will show you what can never be lost." As you begin to release, you will see my current flowing all around you. A casual word becomes an answer. A closed door opens to another path. A delay turns into protection from a wrong turn. Every event holds purpose. Nothing is random in the universe I have designed. All things serve one higher aim, to lead you to the place where your soul truly belongs. Remember, what you call late is often on time according to heaven's calendar. The divine flow does not remove challenges, it transforms them into instruments of growth. You will find that your stumbles no longer bring despair but deeper understanding of my mercy. For within the current of grace everything holds value, even tears. Every drop that falls into that river becomes a pearl reflecting eternal light. I waste nothing that you have endured. Even pain becomes the lesson that teaches you to love more deeply. My child, do not think that entering the flow means ceasing to act. On the contrary, that is when every action becomes perfectly timed, perfectly placed, and perfectly purposed. You will notice that what once required great effort now unfolds with ease. For when you move in heaven's rhythm, the angels and the cosmos themselves cooperate with you. Submission is not weakness, it is the highest form of strength, the strength of one who allows God to move through them. Archangel Michael says those who listen to the current of heaven will never lose their way, for light itself becomes their compass. When you learn to listen, you will realize that what you once called coincidence was divine orchestration. A teaching from someone, an unexpected turn, even a sudden rain on a sunny day, each carries a message if only you are still enough to hear. My child, keep your mind as calm as a still lake, so that when the wind of the Holy Spirit passes over it you can reflect His image. Do not let worry stir the waters, do not let doubt cloud the surface. For when your heart is quiet you will hear His voice as clearly as the sound of running water, and when you hear you will know when to go, when to pause, when to speak, and when to remain silent. That is what it means to walk in harmony, not faster, not slower, but in perfect step with heaven. God says, "I do not ask you to do great things, I ask you to be faithful in every breath." For every breath you take is an invitation to deeper unity with me. When you speak, I speak with you. When you are silent, I work within that silence. And when you act from love, I act through you. So my child, do not try to grasp the flow, become part of it. Let your will merge with mine so that your heart no longer wrestles but beats in unison with divine intention. Then you will no longer need to ask, "Lord, where is your will?" for your very life will be the answer. You will move like water, carrying light, spreading life wherever you go, and blessings will follow in your wake. And in that moment you will understand to live in unity with heaven is not to escape the world but to walk within it with a heart that belongs to the eternal. You will find peace amid chaos, steadfastness amid change, and radiance amid darkness. For the river of God does not only carry you, it flows through you, transforming you into a spring of living water for the souls that thirst around you. Thank you for listening to this message. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any divine messages. Amen.